Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence the 17th with just a little tiny tip that I hope will help make your performances more natural, more easy, less stressful, less anxious. I don't know. Let me tell you the situation. So, when I produce a demo, I've been producing demos for people around the world through a process where I hook up with them via Zoom and I listen in as they record the clips at my direction locally themselves using their mic, their space, their copy of Audacity. And then with each clip that we do for the demo, I have them email it to me as a WAV file. And then I listen to it here in my studio before we go on to the next clip, just in case I missed something over the net. There was a popped P or something that I couldn't hear over the internet. And every so often, I will hear one of my clients doing something that I think I know is destructive to their reads, or can be, probably likely. I guess that's the best way to put it. There may be a time when it's not destructive, but it's far more likely that it is. And this is it. And I don't know why people do this. Individually, I don't know why people do it. I think I understand why people do it in general. But let me see. I'm going to describe it for you. You tell me if you do this. Okay. So when you sit down to start to record an audition, or say you're doing an on-camera audition, you're about to record yourself doing a scene, what's the amount of time that you take between the moment that you start the recording and then you start your performance? Now, it's likely that that time is fairly lengthy when you're doing an on-camera performance, because if you're recording yourself and you've got nobody to help you, you have to start the camera running, and then you have to go back and get into position, and you have to kind of set yourself. You're doing what I want you to do when you do voiceover auditions as well. But what I heard my client doing in the demo session I just did this past week with them is, because I have them share their screen with me and I can see what Audacity is doing, I can see how thick the waveforms are, I can see if there's any noise, I can see all these things going on. What I saw my client doing was clicking the record button and instantly starting to talk. And it was so apparent that it was all of the getting set and the clearing of the throat and getting ready and all that stuff was happening prior to the clicking of the record button and then the starting of the talking. And I'm saying this because it was like, let me just try to do an impression for you. Okay, ready? Anytime you're ready. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to be talking. So what I see happening there is this sort of anxious moment where, okay, I'm going to click that record button, and when I click that record button, I have to start talking, because otherwise there's going to be space at the beginning, or there's going to be some sort of payment that's due because I'm wasting electrons. I understand that it's a moment when you're switching gears, when you're switching from, like, it's kind of an inertial moment. You're switching from being at rest to being in motion, right? And my advice to you is, if you find yourself doing that, if you find yourself clicking and then talking, just say to yourself, that's not necessary. Click and set yourself back to neutral. Check your notes, look at the script, think about what you're going to do once you're done talking. Maybe you're going to send it off as an MP3. Maybe you even want to go get a cup of coffee. I don't know. You decide you want to clear your throat. But take the time you need. Don't jump right in. And I'll tell you why. If you do that, there's a very good likelihood that your face will not be in a neutral position. Whatever face you make, however you hold your mouth, when you're anxious, that's where you're going to be starting from. So that moment when you're like, and then you go, that's not going to be helpful to you. That's going to, in many cases, harm the very beginning of your work. So take your time. Everything is free. You're going to cut off the beginning of that empty space, and at the end, same thing. Let it go. Let it land, and then click, stop when you feel like it. You're going to cut both of those things off. So it's not like you have to pay extra to do that, right? Take your time, get set, click the record button, and then do whatever you need to do to be settled and be your natural human self. Don't gear up, press record and go. I see it happening all the time. I want it not to happen for you. Please stop rushing to perform. I say this because I see it happening, and then I see when I help my clients not do this, I hear their performances get instantly better because they no longer have that stress, that sword of Damocles hanging over their head that they've pressed the record button and now they have to talk. I encourage them to take as much time as possible. And I hear the difference. So my question to you is this anything that you've ever considered, or is this like, am I just a whack job? I hear it happening all the time. I think it's a thing, but it's only been with maybe 20, 30 of my clients over time. So tell me in the comments below, tell me if this is something that makes sense to you. If it's something maybe you've been doing and you don't even know it, or you do it and you think to yourself, well, I got to do it because that's the way I've always done it. Or, I don't know what you're talking about, David. This is not what I do. Let me know. I'd love to know, because these are the things when I think about them, I go, should I share this with people? Yeah, I really should. So that's what I did. If you'd like to subscribe to my list and get notified when these videos, these one-a-day videos come out, or when I post a blog about something, or when there's an event that's going on that I think could be helpful to you, there's a subscribe button or a subscribe form somewhere around this video on the page. And if you'd like to see the last episode, the very latest episode I've done, go ahead and click on that frame there, and YouTube will take you there and play it for you. I'm David H. Lawrence, the 17th. I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.